beloveds. My name is Tanner Linden. I serve the Church of the Larger Fellowship as the Communications and Outreach Coordinator. In short, my job is to connect people to Unitarian Universalism. That means I'm usually on the other side of this camera. Usually I'm watching Rev Meg Riley, Revlin Ungar, and our wonderful team of seminarians lead worship. Usually I'm the person who is quietly scheduling social media posts, promoting events, and filling your inbox with emails from our senior minister. But tonight, like most of us who usually go to an in-person service on Sunday, I'm doing something different. Tonight, I'm on this side of the camera. And I've been thinking about our theme and how I can contribute to this service. I decided that I'm going to talk about the job I had before I joined the Church of the Larger Fellowship. For almost 5 years, I worked for the Santa Barbara Zoo. And even though I never worked directly with animals, I learned so much from our animal care professionals. And I'd like to share with you a little of what I learned. Zoos and aquariums do this thing called behavioral enrichment. Behavioral enrichment means creating experiences and activities for the animals that stimulate their brain and mimic experiences that they may have in the wild. Behavioral enrichment is part of daily care for these animals. They receive enrichment just like they receive food and water and medicine. Enrichment is just as important as all of those things in keeping an animal healthy and happy. Sometimes enrichment is items that are put into the exhibit, like a box filled with scented paper or a ball pit for animals to play in, even a puzzle that has treats inside. Zookeepers have to be so creative every single day with the enrichment that they're providing animals. Not only do they have to be creative with the enrichment, but they also have to be adaptive. Animals, in some cases, are like people. They have specific preferences. Like Bam Bam the porcupine doesn't like cabbage, and Michael the giraffe hates prickly pears. Zookeepers have to adapt their enrichment to the specific animal. Sometimes enrichment is not what is put into the exhibit, but how the animal interacts with the exhibit itself. Zookeepers will often practice something called exhibit enhancing. This is when the zookeeper rearranges, removes, or adds objects to the exhibit. This can take hours each day. For example, elephant keepers, they start at 8 a.m. with exhibit enhancing and spend upward of 2 hours with shovels, rakes, and bulldozers rearranging the exhibit. Each morning when elephants come out, they are stimulated by a new environment. This is not only a practice for large animals such as elephants, giraffes, gorillas. Even zookeepers for little creatures like lizards and snakes will dedicate time to rearranging their exhibits, moving a water dish from one side of the exhibit to the other, changing where the food gets placed, and adding or removing rocks and sands. Even the smallest changes force the animal to interact with their space in a different way. So, you might be asking yourself, what does behavioral enrichment and exhibit enhancing have to do with me? Well, if you're anything like I am, you might be starting to feel a little cooped up at home. You may even be feeling a little enclosed. I'd like to encourage you to use creativity and adaptability, just like the zookeepers, to add a little more enrichment to your life. Maybe this is your perfect opportunity to enhance your space. And I know what you're thinking. No, you don't need shovels, rakes, or bulldozers. You don't need a ball pit or puzzles that dispense treats. All you need is to find new experiences and activities that you can enjoy from the safety of your home. Have you tried painting? What about picking up that instrument that's collecting dust in your closet? What can you bring into your life to enrich you? Maybe you don't need to spend hours redecorating your entire house, but have you tried eating dinner in a different place than you normally do? Have you tried relaxing in a different chair or reading a book someplace new? If even a lizard or snake needs a change of scenery sometimes, I think we do too. I invite you to step into the shoes of a zookeeper, to think about the space and supplies that you have and try something new. Give yourself the opportunity to be creative and adaptive. Stimulate your brain and mimic some of the experiences that you might be having outside of quarantine. If it helps an animal at the zoo, maybe, just maybe, it might help you.